What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another monthly haul video. So in this one, I'm gonna try and change up the formula a little bit. So as I said in the last one, a lot of the newer series I'm getting, I'll kind of give a little brief introduction as to why I'm picking them up and what I'm looking forward within the series. But others that I've kind of already been kind of ongoing or I've already mentioned in previous videos, I'm just gonna go through them pretty quickly. So with that moving forward, I'm just going to do all the upkeep ones at first, and then I'll go into my newer series so that way I can just get the other ones just out of the way, and then we'll go from there. So first off, I'm going to start off with Exodrive Volume 2. Like I said, just a very fun series. I haven't gotten a chance to reading this one yet, but again, I really like that first one, so I'm really excited to see what more shenanigans are going to come through with this one. And after that, I have 2 volumes of Phantom Dream. Again, it's another one I picked up last month, and I got lucky and found volume 2 and 3 at half price when I just happened to stop by. So I was like, sweet, I'll pick these up. I'm enjoying it so far, so hopefully it'll keep that up. And following that up, Hunter x Hunter Volume 6. I got lucky finding this. It's one of the few of the very, very early volumes I needed, so really happy to add that. And last up, I have Record of Ragnarok Volume 2. So I'm excited to start reading this one. I particularly enjoyed this fight right here, so I'm ready to dive into that. And with that, that takes care of all the manga that I've already kind of got over. I'm just doing upkeep on. So with that, I'm gonna jump into some of the newer series I've gotten, and one that really hurt my wallet, and that one being good old Magi. This series I didn't really plan on getting until a little bit later on, but just by chance, Right Stuff had a sale on Viz Media, and I saw that they had quite a few of these in stock. So I said, you know, why not? I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this because I've been wanting to get this series for quite a bit. I watched all the anime. I was really sad to see that they didn't animate like the last half of the manga. So luckily, I was able to get a good portion of the volumes from like 13 and up, because as much as I would like to read it from the beginning, I mean, now I can actually just sit and start reading from the place that left off in the anime. As I'm a big One Piece fan, and going through these, I'm like, looking at the art, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I really love the colors and stuff used in the covers. But aside from that, I felt the story was really well put together. I loved the world building that was in the anime, and I haven't read, again, like I said, I haven't read any of this series. It was just the anime, but I've been really enjoying Orient. I've been catching up on those volumes, and at least for some of my friends who have gone through and read this series, for as well received as it has been, and then just all the positive things I hear about it, I've been really wanting to get into this series. And yeah, see, look at my man Sinbad. This dude, top tier material. Dude's a monster. But anyway, awesome series, at least from what I'm aware of. Again, I can't wait to dive into these, and just the sides even too. I'm very big on colors. I like volumes that have a lot of colors that aren't just one typical spine. All the spines are different ones, so I'm really excited to get this all completed and then just see what the finished completed series looks like when it's sitting on the shelf. And I guess just to wrap my thoughts up on it, like, just really cool. I love the character development. Again, the world building is phenomenal in my opinion. I really like the way it's handled. The whole thing with the treasure hunting, the djinns, the like hierarchy, and all the political intrigue that's in there. I love it, and I'm really excited that I can finally start jumping in and seeing where the story actually ends up. So I can't wait until I get some time to actually sit and just go through the series, opposed from, you know, getting the last 2 volumes I need toward the end of it. And the next one we have coming up is a series that I haven't personally started reading yet, but the girlfriend does thoroughly enjoy the series, so I got lucky to find a bunch of them again on Right Stuff. They had them on the old out of print sales, and that led me to buying a good portion of this series called Arcana. Again, I haven't read it, but the girlfriend loves it, and I can see why. She said the story's pretty good. The art is very pretty. I love the art. But I got lucky and got a lot of these like pretty cheap, and I know it was nice because a lot of time when we're going out looking for books, I find a lot of things that I like, but we don't find a whole lot of the older series that she's into. So I got really lucky in seeing that they had all these on there, and to have gotten so many for such a good price. And part of that sale, I was also able to snag some copies of 2 other older series that she thoroughly enjoys. One being Model, who is by the creator of Arcana. So I was able to snag this volume 4, 5, and 7. Again, this is another one I haven't read. Hopefully once I find the rest of the books for her, then I can start jumping into it. And the last one being Savor, volumes 5 and 6. We got lucky finding the first couple volumes over at a half price like years ago. So I was pretty ecstatic to see if they had these on there. So it's always nice to find those older series that she's looking for. Again, hers are usually hard to come by, whereas mine are pretty easy to find. So it's always nice to be able to get them. And keeping on that trend of finding older series that she enjoys, we got really lucky and we ended up finding Phantom Thief Jean, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I want to say. We got these at like a secondhand bookstore where you just happened to see it and decided to walk in, and wow, did we get lucky. Like, we didn't expect to find this series anywhere. I know she talks about it a lot. I haven't sat and dug into it yet. I need to. Have heard a lot of good things about it just from personal friends that I talk a lot about manga and stuff. So again, awesome find, super exciting. Just got to get that last volume of 6 and then I can actually sit and dive into this. And keeping up with the trend of books and series that she's going through, we have I Was Reincarnated as a Villainess in Ultimate Game, but the Boys Love Me Anyway. She says it's pretty cute and has some funny moments. I haven't had time to sit and read this. I still have a bunch of other stuff I'm trying to catch up on. But she said it's pretty wholesome. It's got those little moments and stuff that make it worth a while. So I'm kind of excited to jump in this because I've been slowly opening up my taste in different things I'm reading. So I haven't really read anything of like a genre like this. So I'm kind of excited to see what I'm going to see of it. And after that, I have volume 3 of Lovesick Ellie. I have not read the first volume the first 2 volumes of this. She said it's super cute and adorable. I just gotta wait to jump in and read it. I'm slowly going through Cheeky Brat right now, and once I do that, then I'm gonna pick this one up and see how it goes. And then following that, I have 3 shoujo titles that I'm gonna go through, and the first one is An Incurable Case of Love. I've read the first 2 books. It's really cute. She's a nurse, meets a doctor. The doctor's not the nicest person, but he does so in caring of, like, think of the Shishomaru way. Like, he's not the nicest person, but he shows through like the little things he does. She hates him, wants to cuss him out all the time. It reminds me of the main character from Skip Beat, how when she gets a match, she has like the internal monologue going and can't really say what she wants sometimes, but then acts all like cute on the outside. But when she gets pushed to her limits, then that like anger and aggression comes out. Kind of reminds like that. I highly recommend it. And then I was super lucky to find volume 8 of 9 of Sarah's Celestial Legend. I don't have a lot of these books. The girlfriend really liked this series, and I decided to start watching the anime with her. It cuts a lot out. I started getting invested, and then we were kind of looking through the books as we're from the episodes that we had seen. I'm disappointed. There's a lot going on in this book that the anime cuts out. I'm still going to finish the anime, but now I'm kind of on a mission to find the rest of these. It does cover some controversial things, obviously the girl being in high school, sometimes the love interest is older. There's some things with, wouldn't be taken advantage of that ties into the whole legend behind the angels and things going on in here. I'm not gonna say too much, but I found it interesting. It's got me enough and intrigued to want to go and see what all is there. And apparently it's by the same author who did Fushigi, so if you don't know that and you love Fushigi, then you should check it out. And finally, summing up one of my favorite shoujo titles, volume 35 of Yona the Dawn. Before, when I was younger, just shonen, all the action oriented stuff, I wouldn't really look into these or just gloss by them. Girlfriend had me read volume 1, and I proceeded to buy every single volume that was available within a 2-month time span. As to now, like, this is one of my most highly anticipated series that whenever it comes out, it's the first thing I sit and read. Like, over my Jujutsu Kaisen or my One Piece or like over all that, like, good God, like, this story is phenomenal. I love it, and I'm not gonna spoil much. Like, if you just like that, like, it's the strong female protagonist that, yes, there are moments where she's weak, but it shows her growth, it shows her potential, and not just in like the physical aspects, but also in like the political aspects that start coming up, especially later on in the series. It's great. Despite there being a cast of a lot of male characters that she kind of like surrounded with. It's not this like, oh, who's she gonna end up or who's her love. It's no, it's not that. Like, it is a very, I find it very powerful, character driven story with her, and then a relationship she has with all these other celestial dragons, and then how it ties into the overarching like world building story. So if you have not checked this out, I highly recommend it, and I would recommend it to anyone. Just top tier series for me. And following up, something that's kind of more on the opposite end will be From the Red Fog. I've only read the first chapter that's in this, and then I ended up getting tired and I went to sleep. I guess I'm waiting until I'm in the right mindset to read it, because it is kind of gory. Essentially, from my gathering, was a child whose mother is a murderer. She kind of kept him in the basement, and now he himself is now a murderer. I don't know any more than that, so I'm pretty intrigued. I need to finish this up. Well, actually, I'm gonna probably finish up today. So I don't know if I can recommend this yet. You know, for me, Yen Press is always like a hit or miss for me, but I feel like this one's going to be a hit, so I'm excited to see where exactly this story is going to go. And then on the completely opposite end of all the gory or intenseness that is that, I have Thigh High, the first volume. I saw this and I don't know why it intrigued me so much. I just picked it up. I was like, what is this? I was like, whoa, it's a lot of buff dudes. And I skimmed through it, and it's hilarious. I read this the day I got it. It's fantastic. It does have some pretty like risque, like lewdish shots of just the guys, but essentially just imagine like, I guess, cute schoolgirls doing, I guess, more like lewdish things, but it's dudes instead. And it's pretty funny when they're like comparing like their pec size or like how much weights they can lift and stuff, and it's all done like in a cutesy manner. It's a riot, and I'm really loving how this character they're following, it's like that odd guy out. Like, he doesn't wear shirts that are show his arms or his muscles a lot. He's more shy. I guess like his skirt is like longer than some of the other ones, so it leads into some pretty fun, like hilarious shenanigans. So again, it's not going to be for everyone, but for whatever reason, I was like, this looks intriguing, I'm gonna get it, and it's a blast. I love it. It's great. So if something like this is up your alley, definitely pick it up, because I find it highly worth the read. And jumping back into the more gruesome things, I have the Kurosaki Corpse Delivery Service, the 4th omnibus. I only have volume 1. I've never really told myself I was gonna finish whatever the rest of this series is out, because I just don't see it. Went to the comic book store, and lo and behold, they had number 4. So it's like, oh damn. I was like, okay. Essentially just a group of people who go find corpses, talk to their spirits, and kind of give them like their final rites or their final wish, from what I remember. And it just follows the collection of stories, like finding different corpses and fulfilling these wishes for their ghosts. So really cool. And then I didn't even notice that it's also the same artist who did, I think it's like MPD Psycho. So that just makes me now realize I need to get this and have the rest of it, or at least the rest that is out in English, in my life. And after that, the first volume of Sailor Moon. So this is the smaller size of like the big editions that they had done for a while, and I wanted to get those, but I don't really like the big editions because they take up a little bit more room on the shelves, and when it comes to spacing them, it gets a little difficult. So I was really excited to see that they were putting them in these smaller edition volumes. And Sailor Moon has always been a series that I wanted to go through and collect. I remember back in when I was younger, like watching on Toonami, watching the movies on there. So I do have a fondness for it, and it is a really big part of my childhood. And I've wanted to collect it for quite a while, so I'm pretty excited that now I can finally add it to my collection and actually read the story, because I don't remember a whole lot. So I'm really excited to start digging into this. And next up, I have Blackguard. This is by the same creator that did Devil's Line. So I actually have sat and read this. It's essentially this virus from a planet they brought this virus from a planet. It's changing people into creatures that like they have to now go kill. The Blackguard are the people, or at least I shouldn't say the people. This man is the entirety of the Blackguard right here, and there's a group of people that go around killing these things. This man wants to die. He just kind of jumps in, doesn't care about his life, and then he gets partnered up with this dude who's slowly trying to figure him out. I'm not sure how well I'm enjoying it at the moment. It's got me intrigued enough to want to keep going. I don't feel it's as strong as Devil's Line, but I guess I'm have to wait until like the second or third volume to kind of see where it's going before I get my full verdict on it. but I did enjoy Devil's Line, so I'm really hoping I'm going to enjoy this as much as I enjoyed that one. And after that, I have Blood on the Tracks Volume 8. As I said in the previous video, this was the first series that got me into Shuzo Oshimi's works, and I love it. I'm a big horror fan, at least when it comes to written horror. I don't like watching it, and I can't. Jump scares are not my thing, but I love reading it. And this one, it's again just like Yona. I always read this as soon as I get it. It keeps me on the edge of my seat, and I can't recommend it enough. It's just a boy gets entangled into a relationship with his mother, just not the healthiest thing, and slowly seeing the descent of his psyche into like avoidance and distractions and twisted perceptions and stuff. It's just pretty great. If you like psychological stuff, like, definitely check it out. And I'm not going to say anything more on it because I don't want to spoil anything. So again, if you like psychological horror, please go check this one out. I don't think you'd be disappointed. And following that one, something I'm almost just excited to read, but I am kind of leery with, is Sensei's Pious Lie. Now, I've read a little bit about this. It is kind of hard to get through. It deals with a lot of like assault. It follows a teacher who essentially meets a student that's kind of who's going through a similar thing, but she's not supportive about it. She reacts more out of anger or resentment, dealing with the fact that she's still kind of in this entangled assault like relationship. And it's very interesting. I'm intrigued to see how the writer is going to go through and kind of address and tackle the issues that are brought up in here. But it is highly uncomfortable. Some of the scenes are kind of detailed. I'm like nothing of 18 plus like craziness, or I guess that far end. We know what that far end is, but it would be something that's difficult to read. So while I've enjoyed what I've read so far, if topics like that are not your thing, I would say kind of stay away from this because it can be kind of rough and eerie or uncomfortable to go through. But I'm enjoying it so far, and like I said, I'm really interested to see where it goes and how well the issue will be tackled. Then jumping on to an issue that's not as detrimental, I have Kaguya-sama Love is War. So how do you get someone else to admit they love you? Should the show that you are not the weak one they are? It's in this book. I've been watching the anime. I don't know why I sat on the anime. I'm going to be honest. It's hilarious. It's great. It's probably up there with like one of my top 10 romantic comedies. I can't get enough of it. I essentially binged the first 2 seasons, and now I'm hunting down the books, which I know is going to be a pain because this is one of the more popular series that's out there. But I don't mind waiting. I'll just sit and rewatch the anime over and over again until I get them. But I was really excited when I found the first volume. My wallet isn't too excited because I think there's at least like 21 or 22 at the moment. But that's okay. That's like future me's problem to worry about at the moment. So I can't wait to get rest of these and jump in because I do love it. I recommend it to anyone that likes those romantic comedies because I do feel it does a good balance, and it's got some pretty serious moments with the characters and the development that it brings those tears. Ishigami, my man, you are the best. Ishigami is the best. So I can't wait to get more of these and start digging in to see how the manga differs from the anime. Then another anime I'm currently watching is probably destroying, or I should say is destroying the internet right now, is Spy Family Volume 7. Good old Desmond graces the cover of this one. A little turd, but I'll hold my tongue. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because current anime is ending, or not ending. The anime is currently airing, and I don't want to spoil a whole lot. A lot of people already know the premise of this series. I've been buying it since it came out. I loved it. I was so excited that when the anime got announced, I've been sitting and reacting to it, and good God, it's phenomenal. Like, I couldn't have asked more from, I think it's like Wit and Cloverwork Studios, from doing the justice that this series deserves, and it does a good job at balancing a lot of those things. So you haven't checked it out, as everyone's probably said, it's highly recommended. Next, another series I'm not gonna spend too much time on, Jujutsu Kaisen. The anime was highly well received, the movie was really well received. This is I think we got one more volume after this before the Shibuya arc wraps up. So this is where a lot of, the depression and despair comes in for, the manga readers who have read through and past this. Not ready for this section to be animated, but again, I'm not going to say too much. I don't want to spoil anything. If you've been following it, you know what you have to prepare for. Those that have not read it or in the anime, then you got things coming your way. And from what I was told, that brings a lot of depression. Good Night Pun Pun. I don't have volume 1 through 6. I just happened to see this and I've wanted it for a very long time. I keep kicking myself that I didn't buy it when I would see it constantly on the shelves, and now it's a lot harder to find. But I happened to see number 7, so I was like, what the hell, why not? I'm gonna get it so I can slowly start adding it in. And then once I have all of it, I have a good feeling I'm gonna love this series anyway. From what I've told, it kind of fits right in my alley of things I like to read. Hopefully it won't take me a whole long time to get the rest of these, because I do want to read it, but we'll see how long it takes that. And why not keep up with that depression in Chainsaw Man number 10? I have not read this one. From what I think, this is like the second to last one before the the first arc, or at least the story with Denji kind of wraps up. I've kind of been procrastinating this. That last volume kind of hurt me a lot. I wasn't ready for the sadness that kind of came in there, so I've been pushing this one off. But now I know once I'm ready to stop avoiding the inevitable depression and sadness that was in that volume, and maybe more in this, I got it. So I've been liking it so far. I think it kind of went down a little bit for me as this series went on. But times I have talked about it, it's kind of fallen off a little bit for me, but I am still really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where it's gonna wrap up. And keeping with that theme of avoidance, I have volume 6 of Laughing Under the Clouds. I do have the first 5 volumes of this. I've only read up to 3, and I just still haven't overcome what happened in volume 3. I did not think this series was going to hit me with that kind of depression, so thank you for that, Laughing Under the Clouds. But I've really enjoyed it, following a group of brothers who kind of act as these hunters or hunt down criminals, and then these criminals get sent to a prison. Supposedly there's someone in that prison that's trying to break out, and I said it's been a while, so I can't remember the finer details of it, and all I can remember is, again, that moment that gave me a lot of sadness that I now have been avoiding the series since then. But from what I did read, I did really like it. The characters were really fun, really enjoyable. All the designs were really cool to look at. So I know once I'm ready, I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy the rest of this. But I just got to work up the courage to read past the point that I just don't want to accept. And to cope with that, I have the second volume of Cat Massage Therapy. I've read the first one. I have not dug into this one yet, but it's adorable. It's just a cat who runs a massage parlor with other cats. This businessman stumbles into the place, or I should say the parlor, gets a massage by the cat, and then brings the cat and the kittens to his workplace, and everyone loves them. It's just how they massage them in different ways. Everyone thinks they're adorable and cute. So according to this one, they're going to introduce a new cat, which I think is this one right here, the glare. I'm sorry for that. It's pretty strong, but I'm excited. So it's just pure cute, adorable overload. So if you like cats, if you like cute things, or just little wholesome things, this is for you. This is a good read for after a long day, just to kind of unwind and be like, yes, cute things exist and I love it. But I also do love a lot of good looking British men that solve crime, or I should say instigate a lot of the crime. And for that, I have Moriarty number 7. And look at my man. Hold on. Look at how. Yes. Good. I saw this. I wasn't really sure when I saw the first volume when it came out quite a while ago. But then I watched the anime. Good Lord, I think it's another series that contributed to the issues I have now with daddies. But now obviously you can see this man. It's probably one of the main reasons. But it's really cool. I do like Sherlock Holmes stories. I've never really sat and dug into a lot of them, but I did really like seeing it from the other perspective. This one focuses a lot more on Moriarty and his team. The anime does not have some of the more gruesome stories that are in here. I didn't realize that until after I started buying the books and reading them. But highly recommend. If you like Sherlock Holmes, like the detective stuff, this is cool. I really did enjoy how they went through it. And all the political espionage and spy stuff, that stuff's in there too. So it kind of fits that whole package, and the story or the writing is really good, at least in my opinion. So definitely check this out if you're into a lot of that detective or even just the whole Sherlock Holmes vibe. But if you're not so much more for the dark, mysterious vibes, you want those more wholesome, really good adult romantic relationship vibes, then My Androgynous Boyfriend. I have been looking for a lot more romance books to add to my collection, and this one kind of caught my eye because it just seemed really interesting. And after reading it, it's great. It's so wonderful. Like to see a healthy adult relationship in a book and just see them interact and just have their life with you see their differences and how they lift each other up or are accepting of one another. Like they have little differences or little spats, like they sit and talk it out. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. I know there's more volumes. I haven't gone to Barnes and Nobles. I know my wallet's going to explode and I'll have no money once I find the rest of the volumes. So I'm going to buy all of them. But I highly recommend this if you like those romantic stories, and it's not just more of like, I guess like the teeny stuff or like over the top drama or I guess non-realistic issues that kind of get tackled in some of those. Like this for me was a nice change of pace from the stuff that I have read. So I highly recommend this to anyone that likes those like romantic stories, because to me it's good. It's good, and I don't think anyone would be disappointed with it. And following up with really well written stories, I have The Witch Hat Atelier. I'm probably butchering that name, saying it not the right way. But I read this a long time ago. A friend had it. I had borrowed it from him because at first I was going to buy the series and I just completely forgot about it. He ended up buying it. I read it, and the artwork is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's sometimes I'll just sit and stare at the art. I do have the other series by this creator. It's like Inel and Dewey, or Dewey and Inel. I can't pronouncing it terribly, but I did end up buying that series. I knew it was by the same author, and there was only three out at the time. I have the first two, and I'm finally starting to dig in this one because I think an anime just got announced. I was like, oh damn. I'm like, all right, now I have no excuse to not go buy it and start reading through it. Sorry, I was able to pick up volume 1. It just follows a girl who starts learning magic. She's told not to do something, she does it anyway and unleashes a lot of trouble. So this man picks her up and brings her in as his apprentice and starts teaching her. And again, it does feel magical. Like you do feel that sense of like exploration or wonder, at least for me, in the way the artwork is done. So I'm really excited to start getting the rest of these and see where it does go. I do like those magical stories, like when you can feel like you're a part of the world, and this one does really make you feel like you're a part of the world. So can't wait to get the rest of these and dive in and see where it does go. And then to wrap up the last of this video and, keep up with magic discussion, Black Clover number 4. I'm getting close, guys. I got like 2 or 3 ordered that I gotta wait on, then I just gotta get 23 and 24 and I'll have all of them. The one series I'll never forget. Give the girlfriend crap so much. I remember seeing them like, I want to get this. It looks interesting. And she scoffed at it. How dare she? She scoffed at Black Clover. But I was a fool. I was like, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, now we're reacting to the show, and good God, to me, it's up there with the levels of One Piece with some of the world building and the thing it lays, some of the things it lays down, and then those small little payoffs of like little story bits that come, and then later on when you didn't think they really meant anything, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, they did. I love this series, and it's probably one of the only few, or at least one of the only ones that I do kick myself for not buying when it first came out, or at least following my intuition and getting it when it came out. But now I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm at least still keeping caught up with all the new volumes that come. So once I finish anime, I can start digging into the rest of it. And I've been waiting on a lot because some of these volumes have been a lot harder to find, especially particular ones with big moments, at least. So again, volume 4, I got the rest coming, and I can't wait to have this one finished. Then I can start working on back to Magi. But I'm not going to mention that because then my wallet will start crying, and I'm not in the mood to hear it cry. So with that, that is the entirety of my haul for the month of April. It was a lot. I didn't think I got that many volumes. I did until I sat down and counted through them. So as always, thank you guys for watching. If you decided to stay and just listen to me ramble and stuff, I'm kind of looking at different kind of content I'll put later on, at least going through different series that I like, why I'm buying them, or hell, just reviewing some that I feel don't get the attention that they should. But probably save those for another video. So as I said, thank you guys for joining. Let me know in the comments below, like, again, what series you got this month, what you're looking forward to. If you have any recommendations for me based off the stuff that I showed you today, like, I'm all for it. I spend a lot of money just on manga. I love reading news stories. I feel it's just one of the best ways to kind of escape from a lot of the things that's going on in the world today, and following a lot of these characters, at least in their journeys, is always nice. It's a nice escape. So if you like the video, I really appreciate a like. If you want to hit the subscribe button, it helps. I'm trying to get a better schedule put in place for things. But with that said, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.